May it please the court, opposing counsel. I am respondent DeJoy Davis, and I represent the United States government. The main issue of this case is whether the objective or the subjective test is required for 18 U.S.C. 875C to comply with the First Amendment. The objective test, as used in 875C, is not a restriction on the freedom of speech, as the petitioner would have you believe, but rather a restriction on a language so obscene that it is not protected by the First Amendment. This language is classified as a true threat. A true threat defined in Virginia v. Black is a threat that encompasses those statements where the speaker means to communicate a serious expression of intent to commit an act of unlawful violence to a particular individual. This means that even though subjective standard could be used to determine intent, it is not the only standard that could be used. 875C states, whoever transmits in interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any threat to kidnap or threat to injure any person shall be fined or imprisoned under the title. In United States versus Francis notes that there is nothing in the language or legislative history of Section 875C suggesting that Congress intended it to be a specific intent crime or ruled that the government need only prove that the defendant intentionally transmitted a communication in interstate commerce and that the circumstances were such that an ordinary, reasonable recipient familiar with the context of the communication would interpret it as a true threat of injury. The court explained that applying this rule results in the statute only criminalizing true threats. Therefore, it complies with the First Amendment. And all other circuits, except the Ninth, has interpreted 875C as a general intent crime. Furthermore, Mr. Logan would still be convicted under 875C if the subjective standard was applied. As stated in United States versus Castle, a natural reading of this language embraces not only the requirement that the communication itself to be intentional, but also the requirement that the speaker intend for his language to threaten the victim. Mr. Logan posted the threats on his Facebook page, a place he knows Ms. Verde has access to see them. He is intentionally communicating his threats to her. Also, when Ms. Verde tried to take her kids back home from Mr. Logan, he said, "You really want me to go